Hi friends, welcome to Studies with Joy. So our today's topic is 9th standard English chapter number 2.4, The Fall of Troy. It is a very nice story. Actually, it is an epic of the Greek literature. Okay, so we're going to learn about this, and in this video I'm just going to take the part 1 of this chapter. We will continue with the part 2 in next lecture. Okay, so English 2.4, The Fall of Troy is. Before starting, please like and subscribe my channel and also press the bell icon button so that you get the first notification when we upload a video, and also press the bell icon button and also share the video. Okay, so let's start. This chapter is just an epic of the Greek literature. I will just give a central idea of this story or the epic or this chapter, so you can understand what we are going to learn in this chapter. Okay, so let's start. I will just give you the central idea in my own words. Epics are tales which were passed on from one generation to other in the form of poems. Ramayana and Mahabharata are the examples of Indian epics. This chapter tells us the story from a Greek epic written by Homer, a blind poet who lived around 900 BC. He wandered from one Greek city or village to another, spreading his tales with to the masses. Okay, so this was the central idea in my own words. So let's start. We will learn paragraph wise. I will explain you each paragraph, and also I will give the answers for English workshop questions. So let's start. Epics are long poems that relate the deeds of a great national hero or a great national war. They often tell of a nation's early history. They may be composed and sung or recited for many years before they are actually written down. So, what are epics? Epics are long poems that relate the deeds of a great national hero. So, epics are telling us about the good deeds of the great national hero or a great national war. So, in India, the two great epics are Ramayana and Mahabharata. So, in Ramayana, the great national hero is Lord Rama. So, the epic Ramayana is telling us the great national hero Lord Rama. So, the Ramayana is telling us about the great national hero Lord Rama, and that way only Mahabharata is telling us about the great warrior Arjun. So that way only that it is telling us in this sentence. And also it can be a great national war. Just Mahabharata is considered is a very big great national war, Mahabharata. So they often tell of a nation's early history. So we also get to know about the nation's early history from these epics. As from Mahabharata and Ramayana, we get to know that there was a ruler system, kingdom system in our country, that after a ruler will rule, and after his death or his son will become the next ruler. So that system was there in our country. So we got to learn about it from these epics. So that is all that they are telling us, that about the nation's early history. They may be composed and sung or recited for many years before they are actually written down. So they were not written down directly. They were just a transfer from one generation to another generation orally. After that, after some time or after some time period, they were written down. So they were just transferred from one generation to other in the form of oral sources. Okay, so let's go to next paragraph. The two famous Sanskrit epics are the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, and the two great epics of European literature written in ancient Greek are the Iliad and the Odyssey. Just as in Indian literature we go back to stories from the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, so the literature of Western countries, they go back to the Iliad and the Odyssey. So there are the two great epics of India are these two great Sanskrit epics of India are the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, and the two great epics of Greek literature, European literature are the Iliad and the Odyssey. Okay, so in this story is about the Iliad. This chapter is describing about the story of the Iliad. We are going to learn. So they are the two great epics of the European literature. So as in India, we go back to the Ramayana and Mahabharata, we read them, we learn something from them. In that way only in Greek, they go back to the Odyssey and Iliad, they read them and they just learn something from it. Okay. So just as children all over India know the names of the stories of Ram and Sita, Yudhishthira and Arjuna and Draupadi, so in children in Western countries know the names of Hector and Odysseus and Achilles and Helen of Troy, the most beautiful woman in the world, because of whom the Greek and Trojans fought for 10 long years. So as in India, the children, small children know the names of Ram, Sita, Yudhishthir, Arjun, Draupadi. So in other countries, they know the names of Odysseus, Hector, Helen. Helen was considered as the most beautiful woman in their literature, as mentioned. So because of that, the most beautiful woman, the Greek and the Trojans means that there was a country named Troy. So as the people living in India are called Indians, so that people living in Troy were called Trojans. So there was a long, very long, 10 years long fight between the Greek and the Trojans, a battle. So that is the story that we are going to learn. Let's go to next paragraph. Nobody knows for certain who the author of these early epics is. It is thought that they arose and developed with the nation itself and were handed down from singer to singer till perhaps one great poet gave them their final form. So nobody knows that who are the authors of these great epics. Nobody knows. So it is taught that they arose and developed within the nation itself. It is like that thought. Okay, so that thought is there, and nobody also don't knows that who wrote them, what was the reason for writing them, and also they and were handed from singer to singer till perhaps one great poet gave them their final form. So they were transferred from one generation to another generation orally, as I told before also, and at last the one great poet gave them their final form. So it is believed that the Iliad and the Odyssey were composed and recited by a blind poet named Homer, who lived about 900 BC and who wandered from one Greek city or village to another, singing his poems to all who would receive him in their homes and gave him hospitality. The wandering singer has been honored through the ages, not only in Greece but in all Europe, as the father of European poetry. So what is this? It is believed that the Iliad and the Odyssey were composed by a blind poet named Homer. So it is believed like that, and who Homer used to wander from one Greek city or village to another, and he used to sing his poems that he has written, and he used to tell the others about it or also spread the poems. This wandering singer is also honored with the title of the father of European poetry. It's a very important thing. You should remember it. It can be asked as a question that who is honored as the father of European poetry. It is Homer, a blind poet. The Iliad is the story of Ilium or Troy, a rich trading city in Asia Minor near the narrow sea that leads from the Aegean to the Black Sea. It was well situated both for commerce and agriculture. In front of the city was the sea over which sailed the ships of Troy, carrying goods and grain. At the back rose the high park of Mount Ida, from which flowed many rivers and streams. The valleys among the hills were well watered and fertile, with corn growing in fertile fields and cattle feeding on the rich grass of the meadows, while sheep fed on the slopes of the hills. So, this paragraph is the starting of the story or the chapter. So it is telling us the Iliad is the story of Ilium. The Troy is also called as the Troy country was also called as the Ilium. So a rich trading city in Asia Minor. It was a rich trading city, and this paragraph is telling us about the how it was rich and was a very prosperous city. It is telling us about that also, and telling us the prosperousness and also the richness and also the features of the city, how where it was situated. It was well situated. It was very. It was front of the city. There was a sea, where they would have do sailing of or carrying goods and grains. So there was going on the sail on the sea side of the city, and on the back of the city there were hill high peak of Mount Ida. It was a mountain. So from where the many rivers were flowing, and it was very fertile and well watered. So there the corns and many other things can be grow there. Next, let's see. Thus, Troy was a strong city, strongly protected by its walls and strongly defended by its bravely soldiers. Brave soldiers it was having, and it was protected by walls. But all the kings and heroes of Greece had declared war against the Trojans because Paris, a prince of Troy, had persuaded Helen, a wife of Greek king Menelaus, to elope with him. He had brought her to Troy. The Greeks wanted to take revenge on Troy for the wrong done to Menelaus. They sailed to Troy and laid siege to the city. The Trojans too fought hard, and the siege continued for 10 long years. So this chapter is the continuing the story forward. So the Troy was a strong city, as mentioned that there was a wall surrounding it, so that no one can enter. It used to be open. Okay, for many time it used to be open, but when there was war, it used to be closed. So it was a very strong city as it was protected from the walls and strongly defended by its brave soldiers. But all the kings and heroes of Greece had decided to wage war, to declare war against the Trojans. Why? Because Paris, the prince of Troy, was had persuaded Helen. Helen was the wife of a Greek king Menelaus. So they decided to wage war to take revenge from them. Okay, so to take revenge for the wrong done to the Menelaus. So the Helen had ran away with the Paris. So that was wrong actually. So they had decided to take revenge. So Helen had persuaded with Paris, a prince of Troy. So they had to they waged war, they fought, and Troy also gave a gave a strong back. They also attacked it. So the battle war began, and it lasted for 10 long years. It is a very large decade. The fighting went on daily, but the siege did not end. On the one hand, the Greeks could not take the city, and on the other hand, the Trojans could not force them to sail away. Every day, the Trojans came out of their gates, and the Greeks came out of their tents and ships. And the fighting went on. Sometimes there were great battles between the two armies. Sometimes there were single fights between the great heroes. Sometimes the Trojans had the better of it, and sometimes the Greeks. But still the fighting went on. So the fighting went on every day, daily. It was very distressing for them, especially for the subject. Okay, but the siege did not end. They did not end the war. Then also, on the one hand, the Greeks could not take the city because it was protected from the walls, so that they could not enter it, and the Trojans could not force them to sail away. They were not able to force them to sail away. So that was the problem, that no one will win or no one will lose. That was happening, and it was continuing only every day. Every day the Trojans came out of their gates and the Greeks came out of their tents and ships. So that the fighting went on only. So sometimes there were great battles between the two armies. Sometimes there were single battles between two national heroes. And sometimes the Trojans had better of it, the Trojans had the majority, but sometimes the Greeks had the majority. Then also but still the fighting went on. It ended or not on. Next. Great heroes on both sides were killed in the course of the war. After leading the defense of his city for 9 years, the brave Hector was at last killed by Achilles, whom none could resist. But Achilles himself was killed later on by a poisoned arrow that entered his heel, the only part of his body where he could be wounded. Still later, Paris himself was killed also by a poisoned arrow. The Trojans were tired of being shut up in their city, and the Greeks were longing to see their homes again. But still, the fighting went on. So, the great heroes on both sides were killed in this fight, in this war. After leading the defense of this city, so there was a great warrior named Helen. So he protected the Troy city for 9 years. Then at last he was also killed by Achilles, and Achilles was also a warrior. So Achilles also could not resist. Achilles himself was also killed by a poisoned arrow that entered his heel, the only part of his body where he could be wounded. Okay, just as in Ramayana, the Ravan could be killed only when the arrow hits its belly drum. So that way only here Achilles could be killed then only when he gets wound at the heel, at his heel, the only part where he could be get a wound, and he could be killed. So he was also killed. Paris himself was also killed. That was very shocking that Paris, the prince of Troy, was also killed by the poisoned arrow. The Trojans were tired of being up in their city, so the walls were and the gates were closed because the war was going on. So the gates had to be closed so that no one can enter in. So that's why they were very much tired of being inside only. They were inside only. So that was very distressing for them. And the Greeks were waiting to end the war and to go their home, to go to their home. They had not seen their homes from many years, but still the fighting went on. Then also. So here we complete the first part of this chapter. We will continue with the second part in the next video. So now I am giving you the answers for the English workshop questions of the part 1. So read the passage and the name the following. First one is he composed the Iliad and Odyssey. Answer Homer. Second, he persuaded Helen to elope with him. Answer Paris, a prince of Troy. Third, she was wife of the king Menelaus. Answer Helen. Fourth, he led the defense of Troy for 9 years. Answer Hector. Fifth, he was killed by a poisoned arrow that entered his heel. Answer Achilles. Next question. Find antonyms of the following from the passage. First, barren, antonym is fertile. Offended, antonym is defended. Third, cowardly, antonym is bravely. Fourth, peace, antonym is war. Fifth, surrender, antonym is fight. Sixth, exposed, antonym are to, covered or protected. Seventh, defenseless, antonym is well protected. Next question. From other sources, find synonyms of the following words used in the story. Great, they have described a particular thing for which we have to find a synonym. So, great hero. So, that hero has been described as great. So, we have to find a synonym for great. That is brave. Beautiful woman. Woman has been described beautiful. So, synonym will be pretty. Fight, verb. Verb is the fight. Defend. Synonym is defend. Then rich, city. To prosper with synonym. Safe, synonym well protected. Strong, city. Synonym well guarded. Brave, synonym strong. Okay. Next question is correct the following sentences using facts from the passage. So first is Troy traded in cattle and grass with other cities. Answer wrong. Troy traded in goods and grain with other cities. Second, during war Trojans jumped over the fort gates to find the enemy. Wrong. Answer is during war the Trojans closed the gates and then the city was like a strong fortress or quite safe from all attack. Third, Helen eloped with Menelaus. Wrong. Answer is Helen eloped with Paris, a prince of Troy. Fourth, Troy was attacked because it was a strong, rich city. Wrong answer. Correct answer is the Troy was attacked to take revenge for the wrong done to Menelaus. Fifth one, the Greek armies and heroes always defeated the Trojans. Wrong. The correct answer is the Greek armies and heroes could never defeat the Trojans. Sixth, both the enemies were eager to continuing fighting. Wrong. The correct answer is both the armies were eager to end their fighting. The seventh, the great heroes avoided one another. Wrong. The correct answer is the great heroes tried to kill one another. Eighth, Achilles was killed by an arrow that pierced his heart. Wrong. The correct answer is Achilles was killed by a poisoned arrow that entered his heel. Next question is state the counter action for the following actions. So we have to write the counter action for the following mentioned actions. First one, Helen eloped with Paris. Counter action is the Greek attacked the city of Troy to take revenge. Second, the Greek sailed to Troy and attacked it. Counter action is the Trojan fought back strongly and 10-year war ensued. Third, Hector was killed by Achilles. Counteraction, Achilles was killed by poisoned arrow that pierced his heel. This was that. Next question. From either of our two Indian epics, find out which battle or war lasted the longest. Write down about its cause, the enemy, armies, its heroes, its duration, and the final outcome. So it is telling us to find out about the two great Indian epics of our literature. So they are the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. So we have to write their cause, duration, their heroes, their enemy armies, and the final outcome. So I have made a table like for it. You can copy it. So first is cause. Cause of Ramayana was in Ramayana there was a war between Rama and Ravana as the latter had kidnapped Sita to take a revenge for her sister's humiliation. Cause of Mahabharata was the battle fought between the Pandavas and Kauravas for their kingdom Hastinapur. Okay. Enemy armies in Ramayana, Ravan's army. Enemy armies in Mahabharata, Duryodhan's army. Okay. Next, heroes in Ramayana, Rama was the hero of Ramayana. Heroes in Mahabharata, the Pandavas were heroes of Mahabharata. Duration of Ramayana, 13 days. Duration of Mahabharata, 18 days. Final outcome of Ramayana, Rama finally defeated Ravan with the help of his brother and Hanuman. Final outcome of Mahabharata, Duryodhan was finally defeated by the Pandavas. Okay. So this was the at last question. One more question is there in your textbook mentioned that complete the following sentences with reference to the passage. So that question I am just orally dictating. It is very simple. So first is epics are long poems that. So epics are long poems that it relate the deeds of a great national hero or a great national war. This was the answer. Second is they may be composed and sung or recited for many years before. Answer is they may be composed and sung or recited for many years before they are actually written down. Okay. Next is nobody knows for certain who dash. So nobody knows for certain who the author of these early epic is. Then that only is. Next is it is believed that the Iliad and Odyssey were composed and recited by a blind poet named Homer. It is continued there only who dash. It is coming who dash. So who lived about 900 BCE and who wandered from one Greek city or village to another, singing his poems to all who would receive him in their homes and give him hospitality. Okay. So this was the answer for D1. E. At the back rose the high peak of Mount Ida, from which? So at the back rose the high peak of Mount Ida, from which flowed many rivers and streams. So this was the answer for which. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and also share the video.